So it was catch-22 situation for many of the power generation projects. They have already started, executing the project, but they were not getting the fuel linkage from Coal India because they did not enter into PPA. Now PPA cannot be entered because you haven't got fuel linkage. So it's a very catch-22 situation because if you have got the mines, you have not opened it. So actually, all the developers of all the industries, those who have taken up the power project, were in a great mess, and that was causing the rise or maybe increase in the non-performing assets also with the banks. So they have said that those who will be completing the project by 31st March 2015, 7-8 months down the line, will be given fuel linkages, will be given coal linkages, and that's a very big positive. They are developing SEZ. Again, as I said, the focus of the Prime Minister is more on the sea transportation. So they are developing SEZ in Kandla, JNPT, improving the domestic coal production. This I have referred to. There is a shortage of about 150 million tons. About 450 million tons is produced by the Coal India. They need to ramp up their production by 33%, and that is possible. What is happening now? In fact, the logistic support are not provided because the bottleneck was more of the coal movement. If you really ask the Coal India, they say that we have the coal inventory with us, but the users, the power producers are not able to lift the coal from our sites or from our collieries because of the non-availability of the railway wagons and all. So the whole coordination has to happen between the railway, between the collieries and between the users, between the power generation. So that is going to be a very big area, covering the entire gamut of the infrastructure which I have stated. Inflation control, how you control the inflation, this is very important. Improving the farm productivity. You all must have heard soil testing, which soil is. Now take for instance, if a soil is fit for growing cotton, you see farmer growing wheat or farmer growing pulses or farmer growing rice. That may not be the right way of doing farming. So there will be soil card. They will be giving all kind of advice, all kind of assistance to the farmer, which will improve the farm productivity. They are making digital India. Somebody may say that how that will control the inflation. At least you will get connected. What has happened into the stock market? If you all recall 20 years back, the same stock was available in Bombay for 50 rupees, in Calcutta that used to get sold at 55 rupees. Because of the lack of communication. What is the business? It is the ignorance. A trader goes and buys, what a small vegetable vendor is doing. He goes to the Dadar market, he buys the vegetables in wholesale at 20 rupees a kg and come and sell at your doorstep 30 rupees a kg. Either you are lethargy or you are ignorant. So Digital India, which they have provided 500 crores, is going to connect the whole India, whole country in some way or the other. Inflation does not mean we just need to bring down the price of potato and onions. Not many things you need to control. You have venture capital to encourage the startup by the youth. What is happening now? The whole country is coming to Bombay or maybe Ahmedabad or maybe Delhi because you don't have the employment opportunities. Salary of a driver in Bombay is 14,000-15,000 rupees a month, while in Calcutta it is 6,000-7,000 rupees a month, while in the tier 2 or tier 3 cities it is 5,000 rupees a month. Why? Because a person who is working here in Bombay is paying the house rent of a hut or maybe a small room 3,000 rupees. He buys milk at 50 rupees which otherwise gets sold at 20 rupees in his hometown. So that migration will not happen. If you really ask your people, those who are working here, they say, sir, हमको 50 आधी salary नहीं मिलेगी तो we won't come to Bombay. I have asked to so many people. They say, sir, मेरे को यहाँ पे 15,000 मिलता है, मेरे को मेरे गाँव में 6,000 नहीं मिलेगा. I will go and work here. I won't come here. At least I will be happy staying with my family and all. Believe me, after 5 years, it will be difficult to find a home servant or maybe helper and all those things. And that problem has already started. And that is why you see the ladies giving importance more to your home servant than to her husband. वो husband को नाराज करेगी, अपने servant को नाराज नहीं करेगी. This is fact I am telling you. And this is going to be a very serious, but yes, very good for the economy. Let's not see your personal gains, personal benefits. You have 1,000 smart cities, I have already said on that. 100 smart cities, I have already covered on that. Financial inclusion mission, I have already covered on that on 15th August. Every household must have 2 bank accounts. For that, again, the layers have all been started. Milk mountain, ATMs, business correspondents, like this. All these people will be employed. Everyone will come into this, because if you have to have the efficient, vibrant, foolproof, direct benefit transfer, every citizen of this country must come into the banking channel. Without that, you can't do. So that is the promotion of tourism at various locations. Right now, they have identified 6 locations. Sarnath, Varanasi. Take the case of Shirdi. Take the case of Tirupati. Take the case of Srinathji. What kind of vibrant economy we see of those places? Have you seen that? Maybe you're small, in Gujarat, maybe you have Somnath, so many places, Have you seen the growth? Why people are happy there? Because so many people, they visit the religious places. In Tirupati, you have 50,000 people every day. In Shirdi, you have about 20,000-30,000 people. How many people they get employment there? Tourist taxi, hotels, food, so many handicrafts, so many items get sold. Those people, why this government has won the election, do you know? I keep visiting to Ahmedabad maybe twice in a year, or maybe for delivering a lecture. 5 years back, I went to Ahmedabad at around maybe that was some first week of January. I saw Patang Manjas, made on the roads. But that year I saw huge activity. I asked my friend that क्या बात है इस बार बहुत ज़्यादा पतंग मांझा बन रहा है. He said that Narendra Modi has directed all the corporates to celebrate the kite festival, because that time Makar Sankranti was falling on Monday. So he said that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 4 दिन की छुट्टी. And we all know that Gujaratis are so crazy for patang, for kite flying. And he has instructed all the corporates that distribute patang manjas, like we do it during Diwali, of dry fruits and sweets. 1,000 crore rupees ka patang manja got sold in Ahmedabad and surrounding, which used to be less than 100 crore. And believe me, 80% of that has gone to the minority. And in fact, Narendra Modi stated that in one of his election campaign. And those Muslims have gone in UP and have, scolded their families. What are you all doing here, You say that he is against minority and all that. The way we have prospered is only because of this. That was just one of the things. Same thing is going to be seen in case of the development of tourist places. If we can have the visitors attracted at Pushkar, at Jaisalmer, maybe in the Havelis of Rajasthan, where the tourists they pay more than 5-star hotel rates, 10,000 rupees in those old Havelis. What all you have in the religious places? There are at least 200 religious places, आप 12 ज्योतिर्लिंग पकड़ो, 4 धाम पकड़ो, एक गुजरात का पकड़िए, you have at least 10 places. कर्नाटका में 10 places, यहाँ पे 10 places. So he is starting with development of tourism. So more people will migrate from those places. You will be having mela kind of things, in every nook and corner of the country. He has started that with 5 tourist destinations. That will be a big positive. 6 textile mega clusters across India. Textile is second, third largest industry. I was talking to one of the promoters, a couple of days back. He said that in China, the spinning worker, the spinning wheel, he was giving me the comparison. Tulsianji, we are far better now because of the changes happened in this last 1 year. A spinning worker in China gets a salary of 30,000, while we pay 10 to 12,000 rupees in India. So he said that we score over labor. He said that power cost in our country is about 4 rupees 50 paisa to 6 rupees, while in China it is 5 rupees. He said we are at par. He said that the speed of the Chinese machinery are 33% lower, because he said that all the spinning units runs on the indigenous machinery, while we all have meter and this all looms and open the spindles. They are all, Chinese are 33% lower. Then he said the interest rate. Under the tough scheme, after subvention of 5%, he said China gets an interest So he said that now we are scoring over China, which was a big threat. He said 3 years back the salary was 10,000. So this textile is taking up, see the share price explosion which you have seen in so many stocks. Arvind, Vardhaman Textile, I don't need to say talk of all those stocks. So this is the situation. He has 6 mega cluster. Then see again he has very nicely said on the finance day that people call me that I am pro industry. And this is fact. Without pro industry you cannot be pro poor. How you will eradicate the poverty? You need to first employ the people and then pay them the reasonable amount. If you are now here, the BPO, the software services, see the explosion in economy which we are living. So unless and until you are a pro-industry, if you will not make investment, government will not be able to provide employment to all. So he said that if the industry will not thrive, you cannot have the poverty getting eradicated. So pro-industry is pro-poor and Joe poor is pro-poor. So this is a full circle 360 degree. And this is, the vested interest of these politicians. They are saying, oh, ये तो आप तो capitalist को approach कर रहे हो. This is the whole difference between the communist and capitalist. What communist says, सामने बात बोलता है कि आप 10,000 आदमी को है, there are 10,000 poor and 10 rich. So he says that make 10,000 10 as poor. Make those 10 also poor. That is the principle of communism. That's wrong. I'm not saying that you promote capitalism. There has to be a balance. Don't take the extreme view. Why the communism has not survived? Maybe in Cuba, maybe in Russia, maybe in China, everyone is shifting towards pro-capitalism. So pro-industry, pro-poor, and pro-poor is pro-poor. So these are the inflation control. Now I'll come quickly on the foreign, because as I said that domestic capital and foreign capital, I see ratio of 1 to 10. If the government or maybe the amount of 1 rupee will come from the domestic saving, whether you call it domestic investor, banks, loans and all that, 10 rupees has to come from the foreign investor. And they need to be kept high. GAR is the biggest hurdle. They have been asking for a deferral by a couple of years. Some because of the political reason, because of the legal provisions. Finance Minister has assured that yes, they will look into it and it is likely to get deferred, which are now likely has to get implemented from 1st April 2015. If you all see, after 2 days of the budget, market saw a big correction because again the fear started that the GAR will going to get implemented from 1st April 2015 because the industry has demanded and it should be deferred by a couple of years. Government is likely taking a positive view on that. At least I am confident on that. Then again, avoid retrospective tax amendments, a tax terrorism, which you all practitioners must have used 100 times. We all call it the tax terrorism taken by this previous government. He has categorically said that yes, in respect to the old cases which have already got opened like in India, Vodafone, they can't do anything, but they will be taking a soft side. But they are not interested in taking the new listing. He has again, categorically said in the parliament that yes, the power is there of the parliament to make the laws retrospective, but that should not be for terrorizing the investment, for terrorizing the industry, for spoiling the investment climate. So he has again given assurances on that. Then policy clarity in infrastructure project. What is happening? If you want to set up metro rail, monorail, airports, seaport, you need to be, or maybe the toll-based road projects, you need to be very clear. You can't change your laws in between. What has been happening in Bombay and Delhi airport? They were not allowed to monetize the land. I'm not saying that I'm in favor of that. You be strict. Even the promoters and industry should not be allowed to tweak the policies for which the contracts have been awarded. So set the clear-cut infrastructure policy. If you need to, you will be requiring $100 billion of investment in maybe 110 billion from Bombay to Delhi industrial corridor. If you won't be clear in your policy, no investors will come forward. But yes, there are investors from Japan who are really looking at Fortunately, this Prime Minister has very good relationship with Japan, because that is what he has demonstrated in case of Maruti. The kind of praise they are getting. In fact, in one of the meeting about 6 months back, some people from the chemical industry have gone to him when he was Chief Minister of Gujarat. They say that, sir, ये effluent का इतना action हमारे पे ले रहे हैं, you stop all these things. He said, nothing doing. I will not allow you to spoil the atmosphere. तो उसने कहा कि that all industry people said, sir, यहाँ तो सब industry खत्म हो जाएगी. He said, you all vacate tomorrow. I will bring Samsung. I will bring. He has given 2-3 industries name of Japan. And he said that they will be giving you much more employment on much better terms than what you have been giving. So don't expect me to support you for playing with the environment, for creating the pollution. So the relation, see, Japanese are flush with the funds. They want to make investments. And a person who will be making investment into infra will not take away those infrastructures just in their home. Ultimately, maybe after 30 years, after concession, every ownership of those things, of those projects will go to government. They will become owner after 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years. After 60 years, Bombay Delhi Airport will transfer to Indian government. After 38 years, the Yamuna Expressway 160 km ownership will go to Indian government. All these road concession agreements have a concession period of about 25 to 30 years, or maybe 20 to 30 years. They all will go to Indian government. So you are not giving them absolute ownership of the project. Only for a limited period, they are entitled to cover their costs with a reasonable return on their capital. So yes, those things are, they have realized that very well. Some of the investment, some of the negatives which I have seen in this project, dividend distribution tax has been high, never mind, I think maybe in the next budget they will go, because that has taken away 2.9% dividend effectively, because now you all know again, being the tax consultant, the dividend tax will now be grossed up. Again, that is a typical bureaucratic approach. I don't think that they should have really gone ahead. Super rich tax has not been removed, because that was imposed by the Chidambaram only for 1 year, and 45,200 only SSCs are there in the country. This is also very unfortunate. Only 45,200 people are filing the return with a taxable income of more than 1 crore. It's really pathetic, I think that 45,200 people may be available in the city of Bombay, maybe up to Sion and Bandra. Forget the entire Bombay, but you have 45,200 SSCs from all over India. And still, but anyway, that has been met relief on this. Now see what is happening now, because I am connected to the stock market. There are many companies, which have been made as a private limited company, but their main investment, they don't borrow any money from the public. They have not accepted the deposit. The entire money is by the promoter, that is the shareholder, which are the director, shareholder, family. And they make their investments into the share market. The total work of those companies are just to make investment into the share market. And they make huge money. Long-term capital gain is exempted, but the book profit will attract tax. And that tax credit is not available. Because you are going to have the same thing. Even if you have a short-term capital gain, still the MAT is higher than the short-term capital gain tax of 15%. So I think if you want to make a vibrant capital market, I'm not saying that because I'm attached to the capital market and I want that provisions to get removed. Take a judicious view. This is pathetic. Maybe infra companies are also advocating to remove for MAT, but at least they have the window to recover that amount, maybe 4 years down the line, 5 years down the line. But what will happen? That means you are telling the investors they don't come and invest into the market. Or remove that provision from the income tax act. At least they will not feel cheated. They will not feel deprived. The same thing is happening with the Indian investors also. You all are practitioners. You all must be facing the litigations. IPO have been given the subjective power, frequency of transaction, blah blah blah, and they take all your investment income as trading income, business power. And you all kept on litigating, because that limit of 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs, tribunal में जाना, commissioner में CIT appeal में हार गए, then go to tribunal, then go to high court. Well, legitimately, if I have paid STT of delivery, I am legally entitled to claim that a short-term capital gain, long-term capital gain. Income Tax Act very clearly says that even if I have bought 1,000 shares of Reliance, I can transfer 500 as my stock in trade, 500 as my investment. That facility is available again there, and believe me, the kind of deliberations I have. In fact, I deal with the small investors, they have the same problem. They say though the provision, the benefits of the long-term capital gain, zero tax, short-term capital gain tax, 15% exist in our book, exist in our income tax sector, they are not legal. And they say apart from that, because they finalize their returns on that basis, after 2 years, 3 years when the assessment gets complete, they are charged with interest and all that. So they say it is so painful, it is so pathetic, that it is better not to. Believe me, at least 4 or 5 HNIs of my friends, they have moved away from the market. They say, yaar, humko nahi chahiye. At least, we must be very clear. I finalize my, after 3 years, you say that you virtually pay 100% of your tax. Because he is treating 30% interest and penalty and all that. Effective tax rate works out to 50, 60, 70%. So if you want to make a vibrant capital market, the government needs to look into this to increase the retail investment. Now here I have taken some few stock picks and maybe sectors, because unless you give the clear guidance or the guidelines, I don't think that one can give. Some of the sectors, which are quite positive: oil, gas and natural resources, cement. Again, cement, if you oil, gas and natural resources, I say that, because of the increase in production, you are going to see the production ramp up happening in oil, gas and coal and or whether iron ore. And what is happening in these companies, these core industries, the fixed costs are so high. So even if you just go on the marginal costing principle, you can imagine the additional benefits, additional profits which will accrue to all these companies, maybe like Coal India. If they ramp up their production by 33%, just imagine what kind of ramp up you will see in their profits. Cement, again, government is talking of that the roads, bitumen roads are expensive than the concrete roads. So they are literally, going ahead with the policy that all the roads to be constructed hereafter will all be concrete roads. Just imagine the new capacity of cement has not come because of the unremunerative prices, because of the excess capacity in last 2 years. You cannot create the cement capacity in next 2 or 3 years. That too in the phases. So just imagine the pricing power which is likely to come back to the industry. Third is again a real estate. As I said, smart city, low cost housing. So the kind of land bank which are ready by the companies, and those parcels are going to get developed. Automobiles, again, we have seen the monthly number sales coming in today also of Hero, Moto, Maruti. Maybe people thought that June was excellent numbers because of the excise benefits, given by because people were expecting that excise benefits will come to an end on 30th June. But the kind of, if the personal income will go up, if the economy goes up, then obviously the automobile industry will be doing very well. NBFCs, again, because of the rural penetration, some of the companies like Mahindra & Mahindra Finance, Shriram City Union, Bajaj Finance, they are so much penetrated in the rural part. I am not talking about the urban, because they are well penetrated in the rural, and that is going to be the biggest positive for NBFCs. On the contrary, if you really ask me, probably the banks will be having problem in lending the money, because if you see now also, all the PSU banks are flush with money, but there are no takers. For the simple reason, if you really talk to the industry, let me just touch upon that very quickly. People are saying, the industrialists, that what is happening now? Here they say that if I borrow from abroad, maybe at LIBOR plus 300%, 200%, the effective cost comes to about 6%. They say virtually there is no exchange risk, because they don't see that rupee is going to get weaker here on. Let's not take the situation of today, because it has reached the level of 61. But they see the rupee level to be at about 58, 56 to 58 in the next 12 to 18 months. So they say that virtually if you have exchange gain of 5-6% and you borrow at 5-6%, probably your borrowing cost will be nil. So the big houses have really started exploring the possibilities of borrowing from abroad. So what will happen, these banks, they used to lend a big amount to the big groups, like UB group ko de diya 10,000 crore, Jindal group ko 10,000 crore. So now it will be difficult for the banks. So that is why I am more positive on NBFC. I am not saying that I am not positive on the banks, but I am more positive on the NBFCs, and those who have penetrated, who have a very well, presence in the rural part and all that. Then you have housing finance, again, the kind of boost thrust which has been given for the interest payment, increase in the limit. Then again, metals, and more especially on the non-ferrous metal, because if you see 3 companies are included of the non-ferrous space, that is Hindalco, Hindustan Zinc and Sesa Sterlite. And then JSWC. Then pharma, again, few of the stocks. There are again, you are going to get 25-30 companies in that category. FMCG, again, the kind of spending, power which will be coming to the entire India. infrastructure stocks, again, core infrastructure, like Adani Enterprise. They've got the clearance to their Australian project, to ramp up to start the coal mining. Major portion of that will come to India. And again, we all know that the kind of, closeness of the group with this government. So definitely, they will be, even government will be expecting these type of groups, to perform well, to tide over the problems which are faced by the core industry of the country. Then power generations, as I said, power generation, transmission and distribution, and some of the multinational companies, which are very, and I have given some of the names in each of those sectors. Now here I have just given it indicatively. See, multi-bagger stocks you just can't, in fact that's a continuous process, and for multi-bagger stocks, what I feel that share must rule at a very low level, and you must have a time horizon of at least 3 years. Then only you can expect a good growth. We very loosely talk that multi-bagger, and we start checking the price on a daily basis of those stocks. So that should not be the approach. And I have just given here some of the stocks. MCX, again, I find the kind of problem, which has got settled, new investors coming in. This financial technology is only left with 5% stake. So new set of investors will come, it will become a pure professional company. I won't be surprised to see the share moving to the level of 2000 also in maybe 2 to 3 years. Century Textile is again a very big real estate play, cement play, textile, chemicals and all that, the kind of land development they have all been going on. India Bull Real Estate, again from the realty space, they have presence in Bombay, in the Bombay suburbs, and in the Europe, in the London, they have acquired the property. Adani Port, as I said, they have been very aggressive, and in fact port explosion, the kind of port explosions we will be seeing. Aman Offshore, again in the exploration space, the support service which they provide, and the kind of improvement which we have been seeing. Ashok Leyland, Carnex Micro, some people may ask me Carnex Micro mein kya hai? The kind of railway accidents we see, and they provide the anti-collision devices, which you can avoid. In the winter time, you every time see that because of the fog, you have not, that two trains have not seen could not see each other, right? They got collided on the same track, or coming on the same track, in the opposite direction. All those things can be removed because they have already supplied those kind of software and hardware. So if once the order flow starts coming in from railway, believe me, the share can show the explosive growth. Again, DB Realty, this is just one of the realty space they have been, right now passing through because of the 2G scam, but the kind of land parcels they have, then VOCA. So these are just the indicative lists. I'm not trying to advise that you all should go for these stocks. Make study, consult your advisor, and then put about maybe 15 to 20% of your money in these stocks with a view of about 3 to 5 years. With this, I conclude my. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dixon, for a very, I would say, very researched presentation, very authoritative presentation. When we have time for question answers, if you have any questions on maybe on his presentation or on capital market, you are welcome to ask questions for the next 10 minutes.
Sir, in PSU bank, there won't be any kind of disinvestment because if you want to meet the Basel III norm, you need to infuse fresh money. So take for instance in State Bank, 58% or 59% is the government holding. Take ballpark, out of 100 shares, 60 shares are held by the government. They want to bring it down to 51. So what they will do for bringing it down to 51, they will issue 20 fresh shares. They will make the capital to 120, and by doing that, they will bring down because they are already holding 60 shares with them. So fresh 20 shares will be allotted to the Indian public or to the overseas investor. And they are not yet formulated because they are contemplating to have an exchange traded fund kind of things, where all the holdings of 24 PSU banks will be pooled into one, and that holding company will be listed, in which the dilution will start happening, or because it will be difficult for the bank, for the government